Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for this version of Catch Up with the Experts. Today we have joining us Sarah Archer, the UK Sales Manager for Beachcomber Tours. Sarah, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. As it's just after Valentine's Day, Sarah has joined us today to talk about getting married in the beautiful Indian Ocean. So my first question, Sarah, how is Mauritius coping with the pandemic?
Well, Mauritius has coped very, very well with the pandemic. They've been COVID-free for probably the best part of 8 or 9 months now. Unfortunately, the island isn't open to international visitors and is likely just to remain closed for the next few months. But we're hopeful towards the summer that we'll see the island being open and welcoming visitors again. But it's a very COVID-secure destination. Lots of procedures and protocols in place to keep that the way it is now. And nice to be able to go to an island that isn't suffering from COVID. So life is very much normal in Mauritius. Everybody out partying and on the beach, and no social distancing or mask wearing, which is kind of nice to see on Facebook, but also makes you want to shed a slight tear because we can't join in.
Hopefully soon. So our second question is, what is availability looking like for weddings and vow renewals for 2021 and 2022?
Well, 2021 is pretty busy. As you would expect, a lot of people postponed from 2020 into 2021. 2022, there is reasonably good availability, but some specialist accommodation, like our Victoria for 2 adults only, is starting to fill up for honeymoons as well. So if people do want to book a honeymoon in 2022 and want something like a swim up room, they're best to do that, straight away, really. The earlier the better, they've got more chance of getting in. Wedding wise, some dates are again taken, some people postponed from 21 to 22, but availability generally is, I would say, at a reasonably good level for 2022 and an excellent level for 2023 at the moment.
Perfect, that's brilliant. And what are the legal requirements to get married in Mauritius?
Well, it's very, very straightforward. You just need to be on the island 3 days before your wedding ceremony. We require in the UK that we have copies of your passports, copies of your birth certificates, and these have to be reissued and just dated within 3 months of your wedding date. So you will need to apply to the registry office to get a new copy of that with that date on. Obviously, if you've been divorced and it's a second marriage, we require a copy of the decree absolute, and if you've changed your name by deed poll, a copy of that document as well. And the same for former marriage certificate. If you've been widowed, copy of the spouse's death certificate. But generally speaking, people haven't been married before, and then it's just copies of passports, copies of birth certificates, and you just need to fill out our Beachcomber Tours wedding application form. And all the paperwork is legally recognised in the UK, so you don't have to translate anything coming back. Everything's in English, so you just get married and you have all of the official paperwork you need.
Nice and easy then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it obviously over here we've got restrictions on how many people can attend a wedding. Has Mauritius now got that restriction due to the pandemic, or can you have however many you would like?
No restrictions at all. You can have as many guests as you like, from sort of 2 up to 100 or 200 if you want to. Generally on Mauritius, the average size of wedding party would be somewhere around about 6 to 8 people. Usually you would get, obviously bride's parents, perhaps, siblings or best friends or so on. And there are special discounts available for anybody joining the wedding party.
Fantastic. So it's really easy. How much does a wedding package cost in Mauritius?
Well, we have 3 different wedding packages. Obviously, they have different levels of inclusion, but they start from £545, and that gives you everything you need to get married. Includes, obviously, the cost of all the legal documentation and going to the sort of civil status office just to fill in the official paperwork. It gets you the dedicated wedding coordinator in resort, gets you a simply decorated wedding venue. You can see one of our wedding venues behind me on the background. And a separate room for the groom to get changed in before the ceremony, so you keep not seeing the dress before the ceremony and so on. So basically everything you need to get married, and then the next package goes up, includes things like a bouquet for the bride, and a buttonhole for the groom, and a kind of 10-piece wedding cake. And then finally our sort of bespoke package includes photography and lots of a whole host of other extras that you might want in there. You can pick and choose from a list of extras too. So if you want to have a trio of musicians playing at your wedding, there's a cost for that, and so on, and all that can be done in resort.
Fantastic, thank you. Can you walk us through how it works for a couple who would come to Mauritius to get married?
Okay, well, once they arrive, obviously they'll be very excited. So we get them into the hotel. We let them settle into the hotel for sort of 24 hours or so, find their feet, get to know the resort a little. And then they have a meeting with our wedding coordinator in the resort. She usually would walk them round the grounds, and they would pick the location for their wedding. You can get married anywhere you want to in the resort. Most people either opt for the beach or the gardens, but it's entirely your choice where to have that. She would also show various photographs of previous weddings that they've done, and setups and so on, for them to choose on that. Usually weddings take place in the late afternoon, around about 4 o'clock, because then it's not so hot. And you also, after the ceremony, you get the beautiful sort of sunset light, which is fabulous for the photographs, you know, such as you can see behind me here. This is kind of just before sunset, and it really is a beautiful time to have your wedding photographs and so on. And then you will need to go to the civil status office a couple of days before the actual ceremony, and we arrange the transport to take you there. You sign a couple of pieces of paperwork, and then you're back at the resort, and it takes probably about 4 hours or so in terms of traveling, doing the necessary, and come back again. And then you're all set for your wedding ceremony. The wedding coordinator will also talk by where would you like to have dinner on your wedding night, in one of the restaurants. They'll set up a sort of special decorated table for you, or if you wanted to, you could have your own barbecue on the beach with the setup. Obviously that's at additional cost and so on, but nothing's too difficult. It's your wedding your way, really.
Brilliant. Fabulous.
That's perfect. So Sarah, our last and final question for you: do you have any top tips for our clients who are thinking of getting married abroad, or just for Mauritius and Seychelles in general?
Just do it. To be honest, it's a really, really beautiful wedding destination. It's classy, sophisticated, beautiful, stunning backdrops. We only do one wedding a day at any of the Beachcomber hotels, so it's your wedding. And no one else gets married on that day, and it really is kind of a memorable occasion, whether it's just the two of you or whether you're taking your family with you. And it's so simple and easy to do. I can't think why anyone would want to go through the stress of organising a wedding in the UK, really. So go and do it, and then come back and have a party with your family and friends.
I agree.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, it really does. That's
really brilliant, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining us today and for giving us all the information. We love seeing you, and everyone, we look forward to seeing you for our next episode of Catch Up with the Experts.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
See you at the wedding.
Bye.
Bye.